Hello, humans and non-humans alike, and good ever applies to you. Today we are back on Pillars of Eternity PS4 Let's Play, where we are currently talking to Hedwarden Ethelmore, who is like our steward and is in stone. But in time it was forgotten, as all things are. Since then we have been at the forefront of animancy's resurgence. We have played host to many gifted researchers and pushed the boundaries of our knowledge in ways never thought possible. Some of the first safe transferences were done here, and we have pioneered work in soul purification, lineage analysis, preservation. It's really quite a list, if you'll pardon my pride. Today well, I can't say it's exactly the same. There's been some push to shut us down. It comes from Deerwood's more excitable denizens, whose minds are more passionate than thoughtful, I'm afraid. People see this legacy, and they see it involves something they don't understand, so it's natural then to suspect people whose understanding exceeds theirs. It looks to them like we're hiding something. We have a representative in the palace this very moment, defending the entire science of animancy at a hearing before the Duke. Absurd as it sounds, if it doesn't go well, it could be the end of the animancy in Deerwood. I fear Ivar may be swayed by all this unrest, irrational though it may be. We shall see. Farewell, and let me look at the journal. In clandestine cargo to Nans. And you are definitely not Nans. So let's look around, shall we? Noble. I recently survived a bivouac. Udmer. No, I like that name too. Character's currently busy. Alright then. Animancer. Feel free to look around. You might be able to see a demonstration. Animancy in modern age. Again, you want to read? Pause. No offense, but most people kind of don't want to hear me reading a book.
You give me any more gifts and people will start thinking you're playing favorites.
I don't think it's gifts so much as turning you into a pack mule. Yeah, seriously, you should definitely be better armed. With all these lunatics around here, probably want to come in and burn the place down and burn the books and all that shit.
The term
Everyone here needs to be armed.
refer to my ability
Nans.
to carry unlimited quantities of war spoils.
God, I love that line. Another one improves the shells, the quickness and energy that belie age. I'm afraid I don't practice anymore, child. Too busy with my research. You said you'd be interested in the scepter. That chatty old fishwife's been babbling about me, I see. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Anyway, let's see what you've got. Nans examines the scepter, eyes hooded back up. Model told you true. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter is invalid as made led you believe. She steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the piece in her hands. I'll take it off of you for 500. You seem a little too excited. What aren't you telling me? The corners of her mouth twitch upwards. Sharper than a model, I see. The truth is, I could repair the scepter. She runs her fingers along one of the pattern pieces. It is broken, sure enough, but the pieces themselves are in good condition. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy. Expensive alchemy. I've got to soak the broken ends in a fiend's blood compound to reconnect them. Never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. I could do it to the tune of 800 hands. I can't use scepters. She looks at you again, pressing it then. As you wish, and knowing that it is such a find, I'll give you 700. What do you do here? I'm an animancer. Used to venture on all kinds of underfunded and ill-fated trips out of the expedition hall when I was your age, but lately I have found research better suited to my current pace. She has a creaking knee and laughs. What can you tell me about the sanitarium? It's the official center of animancy in Defiance Bay, founded in 2729, and before you get saucy, no, I wasn't around at the time. It was built to treat ailments of the mind and soul, important sorts of place in a growing city, and its construction marked the end of the animancy slowdown that followed the Bale Reach accident. What's the Bale Reach accident? The statue didn't mention that. A terrible setback for the discipline. A researcher working outside the Bale Marsh shattered the souls of a dozen volunteers. Of course, we'll never know exactly what went wrong because a mob tore him to pieces. This mishap bears some of the blame for the slower pace of research in the 2.5 decades that followed, but it also helped concentrate practicing animancers here in Defiance Bay. Again, I can't use scepters, and I already got one that I could soul bind to myself at some point, maybe in the next game if it carries over. Psalm to Wodika. Pause if you want to read.
You give me any more gifts and people will start thinking you're playing favorites.
The term godlike doesn't refer to my ability to carry unlimited quantities of war spoils.
I'm still gonna explore the sanitarium. Shit, I don't know if there's like missions or something in here. I want to see with my eyes that have eyes. Yes, use scouting mode. By the way, walking within someone's field of vision while crouching down does not make you less likely to be seen if you're directly in front of them. In fact, they're most likely just going to turn around, look at you, and say, "What's wrong with you?" Belisage.
Gods keep you.
A woman paces back and forth, her feet crunching on the soft red carpet. She gestures and mumbles to herself, shaking her head as she pores over pages of notes. Ugh. She almost walks into you. Kosti, here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research. I do not see the kith standing in front of me. What can I do? What do you do here? According to my research grant, I study awakenings. Supplementing pre-awakened souls has been one of Animancy's greatest successes, and I'm working on a method to replicate the process on awakened souls. But the truth is that I find few suitable subject here. Wayland's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. I fear I will turn to Rivua with nothing to show for my efforts. I'm awakened. Drive me. She scratches her chin. Most interesting, but not the kind of awakening I can study, I'm afraid. I need someone whose awakened soul can be triggered with predictable stimuli. Souls such as these tend to manifest as alternate personas in the hosts. Oh, so I need to bring Aloth here. What's Animancy? It's dynamic and respected field. Even the Bale Reach incident did little to slow it. People in the Republics are more accepting of risk, less superstitious, ready to try anything that shows promise. Rest as though much of the research is performed only for wealthy bearers. I must preach. The Defiance-based community focus more on the public good. It's a shame that so many here are so hostile toward Animancy. It is, but such is the way of the deal with it. The people here are fierce about their sovereignty, but they are not so independent from their Adirian brothers and their Glenfather neighbors as they would like to think. They rely too much on the mysterious workings of the god and fear the very advances they need. In all fairness, we've all suffered from Animancy. It doesn't excuse their behavior, but it's easy to understand. Goodbye. So I need to bring Aloth down here, and I just sent him on a mission. Modred. Animancy scribbles fiercely. A parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting up unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scrolls, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and
Gods keep you.
What are you working on? An area of focus is witch, more specifically how to cure them. What's a witch? A hollowborn who received a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of the Animancy's early efforts to cure legacy, if not a successful one. So, they showed signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become aggressive, feral, but still victims in need of care. Yeah, that definitely seems like an odd solution. We Animancers are trying to do something about the crisis, better than letting it swallow a generation of children. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly seemed aware of their surroundings, of their families. The complications don't begin until puberty. That's when the incompatibilities between body and soul take shape. Children become violent, ravenous. They pay dearly for their mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunted down animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside often as not. A grotesque manipulation, a desperate solution for a desperate problem, and the parents were heartbroken and betrayed. It was important to try something, was it not? To bring hope, even for a little while. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it, but we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best we could. Why do you study them exactly? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? Animancy has an answer here. I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. Alright. Hey, I'm being nice. I just want to see what everyone's working on. Yeah, I never thought you'd be taking orders from a talking statue, huh? Damn. Damn it. Alright, I need keys for that. Alright, then I guess we're done exploring the sanitarium. Nah, I meant journal. What else is there? Well, time to go to the Valiant Embassy then. I couldn't think of much to do. I'm the kind of person who likes to just do all the side missions that I can before I even touch the main story. Which, as you can imagine, meant I was pretty much godlike in Skyrim before I touched the main story. It was just like smacking down Alduin. It was basically like a toddler fighting like a 3,000-pound professional wrestler from some other planet. The glossary contains definitions and explanations of many terms used in the resolution of game mechanics. If you need a refresher on how crits are calculated or how damage reduction works, open the journal and take a look. Well, take a look. House Domino. You sure I can't just go in there and take care of this shit right now?
It's true. And competition between the republics keeps us strong.
Rawatai is a unified nation with fleeter ships. Someday it may prove a worthy competitor.
There's more to dominating trade than fast ships. Maybe you could write a poem to help your countrymen figure it out.
Damn. Okay, there's still some animosity there. Ah, man, I miss characters taking jabs at each other in a party. It's like Dragon Age Origins when Morgan kept just cutting down Alistair. I did get his name right? Yeah, Alistair. Pretty sure. Yeah, definitely. Probably. Okay. Still thinking about character sheet. Yes, 0 hours have passed. Hey, Valiant Embassy is here, right? Yep, there it is. And also there's a Temple of Wodka. Oh wait, we're walking into Crucible Keep right now. Huh. Let's go this way. Actually, let's check the inventory. And we still got plenty of space for things, right? Well, anyway, we know where to take Aloth, which is good. How long is this mission? Remaining 2 turns? I don't know what that means. And I'm going the wrong way. Don't know how I could be going the wrong way this often. Wait, what were they just talking about? Yeah. It's not right. Regular folk like us should be allowed to attend the hearings. You do know there's not enough space in there for everybody, right? All I'm saying is, where's our representative? Who's speaking for the common folk? Nobody. Nobody speaks for the common folk. It's the nobility talking. They don't give a shit about what you common folk think. Won't be long before we're a formal knighthood. Well, time to go in. Your character's biography writes itself as you enter the fold. Check the journal tab of the quest window to see how yours is developed. Again, pause if you want to read.
Ambassador Augusti, I would speak with you on a matter of some urgency and great importance.
Sighing as though remembering some heavy burden visiting cross-time before by Pallegina. This is the same matter we previously discussed. I doubt I'll be convinced any more easily. Please hear out, Ambassador. The Ambassador praises you for several moments and nods respectfully. You are well known in Defiance Bay, Mactir, even in the Valian Embassy. So you're keeping respectable company these days. He throws his hands up and shrugs. Hardly a good reason to go stirring up trouble with animancers and who knows
Ambassador,
else.
there are issues at stake here that go beyond rogue merchants and the port staying open. Animancy is under attack in Defiance Bay.
We have to protect our interests here, but that also means knowing when to avoid unnecessary entanglements. The animancers and the locals have problems. They'll work them out or they won't. Either way, there's too much to risk by getting involved.
If it is outlawed here, what would prevent the same from happening in our republics?
True. I mean, since your trade is kind of closely tied together, it'll make strained relations. The ambassador face facilitates between expression of sympathy and Pallegina. I do not think your concerns are unfounded, but it's not the place of the embassy to countermand the Republic's policies. If it makes any difference, I'm looking into it. It doesn't, but it would be fortuitous if your investigations took you to Twin Elms, because that's where Pallegina needs to go.
What is it the Duke's need of me, Ambassador?
The Deerwood's instability has created an opportunity for us to take over their trade with Ir Glanfeth. We'll need to meet with the Glanfadden soon to secure upcoming trade arrangements. The road to Twin Elms can be dangerous, of course, but that's why you'll be our representative there.
Ambassador. But won't this provoke the Deerwoodens? Their country is falling apart, and we are already dividing up their trade alliances.
Provoke them into what? Going to war? Through no fault of the Republic's? The Deerwood's armies have been deprived of an entire generation of soldiers. It would be foolish not to take advantage of the situation. If we don't, the Red Sarens will. Yeah, I'm gonna say nothing there.
Really? After that, you have nothing to say.
Shrug. Go to Twin Elms. Speak to the Andamanfath. Impress upon her the instability of Deerwood and reassure her of the Valiant Republic's desire to open safe trade.
Of course, Ambassador.
Well, I have... Wink obnoxiously at Buzz. I know you plan on investigating this crisis together, but I hope you understand. Well, the Dukes need to hear more.
Of course not, Ambassador. I will attend to the Anamenfath as soon as I...
Oh boy.
Could have gone better. Could have gone worse. I appreciate that you stood up for me. But it's hard to persuade the Ambassador to go against the Duke's orders.
Eh.
Enough wisdom for both of us. Now, I just need to find out how to get to Twin Elms before the ambassador.
Still, I feel that making this deal with the Grand Festival for the week in the year would make trouble for the Republics in the years to come. Follow your heart.
I wish I knew.
I mean, well, it seems foolish. Honestly, these kind of ambassadors tend to be a bit short-sighted. Sure, getting this trade agreement up and running will be good now, but, stealing up these people's trade agreements while they're currently suffering a crisis of, oh shit, our kids are fucking dying, is not a good idea. Our kids are coming out with no souls. They might want to cut your ass. I mean, if they were to get a sudden resurgence or something, then they might come back for you for revenge, you know? It might be better off just showing a strong allied front. Rather than trying to sucker in a deal. Then again, politics, ugh. I hate politics. I think everyone hates politics. Everyone hates politics, including politicians. Do I want to go into Temple of Vodka?
I'm sorry, it's just... When you started shouting, that poor man looked as if he'd piss himself.
Nothing seems to trouble you much, does it, Kana?
Oh, I don't know. I never found much use in getting worked up over the little things.
Maybe to an Omawa, it all just looks like little things.
Well, we are tall. Edge Hill claims another soul. What's going on in Heritage Hills? Oh, you're against House Domino as well? Hey, we should team up. In fact, let's go inside. Actually, I don't have... You know what? Now, I should probably start doing some story-related things. At some point. Like going into this temple. Alright then, time to go. Unless there's a full-on dungeon underneath, then that might not be a good idea.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail. Come to pay your respects to the queen that was.
Who are you, spirit?
Lord Ardwellen Rugford III, and pleased to make your acquaintance. I came to the Deerwood on one of the first ships from Adia, and unlike the yokels and hut dwellers around here, I still keep to the old ways.
I'd like to know more about the Temple of Rodica.
A queen among the gods. She oversees laws and oaths. Everything has a rightful place, and Woodica watches over them all. Of course, not everyone accepts this. Even among the other gods, her authority is questioned. But Woodica is also goddess of memory and vengeance, and she remembers. She'll remember every slight and trespass when she reclaims her throne.
What exactly are you doing?
Worshipping Woodica, the exiled queen and oathbinder. I come every day to offer my devotion. I'd love nothing more than to book passage back to Adia, but it is my emperor's wish that I serve in these barbaric lands. And so I do.
I was told to find Temple of Rodica here.
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
What stairs?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs. so it wasn't destroyed by the fires.
And where did I find the entrance to these catacombs?
There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
You know that you're a ghost, right?
I beg your pardon? Is this some sort of joke where you come from?
Look at yourself.
A madhouse. That's what this town really needs.
Well, we have a sanitarium, so you can always check in there. Okay, so let's see. Copper Lane is where that is. She has to go to Twin Elms. I definitely don't know how to get there. I guess it's the Glenfath or something. And, let's see. Before we do that, since he said we were well known, let me go back here and see if we can get to the records of Adria's brother yet. I'd like to get that at least partially settled. Yes, dual wielding, yada yada. How many times have I read that one already? Let's keep going! I like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. Shit, wait, where did my cell phone go? That has a timer. Wait, need to find phone, timer. Okay, it's right here. Okay, well, yep, okay, still got plenty of time. And now to check. Am I famous enough yet that you can do anything?
And well met.
Oh, you were a prisoner. Was once. Now I'm happily free to do my job, which for you, I'm afraid, means you have to seek your information elsewhere. I don't want to intimidate the dude. Shit. He's a records keeper in a duke. I'm not gonna fucking try to beat up the dude in the middle of the Duke's palace. That's a great way of getting your ass beat by every guard in the building. Who's dumb enough to pull that shit? Do I look insane to you? I mean, shit! I mean, who's a lunatic to try to beat up the records keeper in the middle of the ducal palace with guards literally everywhere? Would you try that shit? If you would, you need some seriously get your brain jacked.
How's the hand?
Turning purple. I'd have to cut it off.
I warned you not to pet him.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
Oh, God. Yeah, but the bear is nicer. You could try petting the bear. Alright, let's check out Crucible Keep. I'm looking for side quests. Yep, and I'm, like, hoarding the shit. I buy them whenever I see them in stores. I never get rid of them. And like I have a collection of chisels, hooks, and crowbars. Let's go in. Hello, what person's bringing you?
Gods keep you.
This guy Aldemar. Aldemar gives you an appraising eye, judging by the scars on his face. He's lucky to be able to do that much. Every day you get more from the hinterlands pouring into Defiance Bay. He's as busy on the watch. You look like you recently arrived yourself. Who are you? A soldier of the Crucible Knights, and proud of it. I help keep everything running at the keep so that Commander Cleaver can focus on more important matters. Looking for something or just knocking the dirt off your boots? What goes on in Crucible Keep? This is the headquarters of the Crucible Knights, so it's where we store arms and armor, as well as where many of our soldiers bunk. Commander Cliver is in the back making plans, as usual. You'll find the forge at the west end of the building, along with our Master Smith Dunstan. There's also a shrine to the Golem if you're a praying type. Tell me about the Crucible Knights. We're the defenders of Defiance Bay. We're not exactly a formal knighthood, but don't tell Commander Cliver I said that. We are the first organized militia to oppose Aderian rule, and today we're the largest force in the city. Our soldiers undergo years of combat training, and our officers are required to have their souls read by what critter? By that critter out in Dunreed Row. What's this about Dunreed Row? Just a requirement of the Crucible Knights, so the higher-ups know there's nothing messy built in your soul's past. Keeping the ranks pure is fine by me. I just wish they were more careful in hiring their ciphers. What's wrong with their ciphers? He shifts his weight and glances at the details. They're mostly Orlans. I'm sure they're talented enough, but you just can't trust them. Oh! Ah, okay, he's racist. Hostilities in their nation, they've learned to hide over the years. All I'm saying is they should at least be supervised by other folks. That's reasonable enough, isn't it? If people treated them better, you wouldn't have to worry about them being so hostile. Just because... that's all. Hey, you used to be blacksmiths, huh? Penhelm, who are you?
How do you do?
Young Novitiate's armor has recently shined, his hair is clean and neatly combed. Hardly he's ever seen battle, or that the scarred antique breastplate he wears could possibly be his. Tell me about the Crucible Knights. We're the primary defenders of Defiance Bay. The Order's founders were the first to rally for Deerwood and independence. Of course, it's ancient history now. Now, we're the most prestigious company of soldiers in Deerwood. It's a glorious line of work. If you can forget about the barracks, that is. Anything else? How's somebody coming? We don't take just anyone. Our members share soul legacies with the very men and women who defended this land a century and a half ago. Anyhow, Commander Cliver is responsible for initiations, but he rarely accepts foreigners.
If this is about the breastplates, I already told Cleaver they won't be repaired till next week.
I found... oh, do you think you could repair it? That's a fine blade indeed. Looks Aderian, special made. Must have been a commission for a champion of some sort. Sword of this caliber would have had a specially designed hilt, too. It'd be a shame to graft anything else onto it. And besides, it'll balance best with all the original pieces. You find the rest of it, and I'll forge it for you. What do you do here, Dunstan?
I'm a forge master. I'm a master smith for the Crucible Knights. But the way I see it, I'm also keeping up with our old traditions. The first members of our order were smiths. Nowadays, most everyone's a professional soldier. I suppose it's to be expected, but I think it's important we keep up with our roots, too.
Tell me about the
We're all
knights.
smiths back in Hodred's day, though I'm about the only one here who still gets his hands dirty. We're a fearsome fighting force, though these days I think Cleaver takes more pride in our parade formations.
He thinks himself a progressive man, but he's obsessed with soul lineages and connections to the Deerwood heroes of old. Other than Dunreed Row, who really knows about any of that, though? Grave mother expression, she looks at Dunstan somewhere between amusement and pity. Both live in a past of their own imagining. What purpose does it serve when so much depends on action now? Novitiate. There, say it a couple times, it sounds better. Wait, I thought I was already in here. Is this a different one? Oh no, different room. Don't close the door. That looks suspicious as shit. Yeah, oh, this is a training room, huh? Need to deal with Heritage Hill. Wayla. The Justicar gaze flickers over to you briefly before it turns to the novitiates gathered in the training area. This is about patrols. My novitiates are already stretched to their limit. Between the refugees' influx and the mess at Heritage Hill, I simply don't have any units to spare. After a pause, she looks over at you again. I'm sorry, was there something else needed? Something wrong at Heritage Hill? Joe's voice. What isn't wrong is the real question. A whole district of walking, flesh-eating corpses. We sealed the area 2 months ago, just after I lost one of my finest commanders there, and yet this is the second guard rotation to disappear. There are already enough rumors about the place floating around the keep without many soldiers whispering about these disappearances. I'd just soon abandon the district, but those monsters should find a way out. I could look into it. After what I've just told you, you want to go to Heritage Hill? I've lost trained soldiers there. Why should I let anyone in? You've got nothing to lose if I go. If you're so eager to rush your death, I won't stop you. And if you're somehow able to put a stop to this, you've got my permission to enter Heritage Hill. I'll send word to the guards at the gate. Yay! I get to go into the place with the zombies! It used to be one of the most prestigious districts in Defiance Bay, but a few months ago, the residents all went mad. Started eating each other, and anything else that had the bad luck to wander into the district. I've never seen anything like it. Now every novitiate that stands guard there, everyone that comes back anyway, talks of the stench of the grave and the groans of unspeakable horrors. The why and how are questions for the Animasters. I've sealed the district in hopes of containing whatever happened there. It seems to be working, for now. And what do you do here? I'm in charge of the keep's novitiates. I'm responsible for their training and patrol assignments. They're good soldiers, and they've been quick to adapt to new challenges. Man, it sucks to lose people. Especially to the Walking Dead. That shit's just oof. Having soldiers get their faces eaten off is rather not fun. Very not fun indeed. Okay. Again, pause. Yada yada. I've said it enough times already. Shrine of Abaddon. Oh, that's the golem. Right, I think you remember one of Mogren's things, right? Ah, lovely. Alright, what's in here? Mess hall of some kind. Well, we got permission to go into Heritage Hill. See, I knew it was a good idea to come in here first. Yay! Oh! Ada has something he wants to talk about. I just noticed that.
Strange place for a shrine to Abaddon, Crucible Keep. Maybe it made more sense at some point before it gathered all that dust. The only thing the Knights of the Crucible worship these days is the nobility, as far as I understand it.
I knew some soldiers got recruited by the Knights after the war is over. They told me some about it. They get these young kids in there, and they tell them about blacksmithing and about the revolution, about tradition. Talk about the golem like he created the Crucible Knights in his forge to go win Deerwood's independence. Then they join, and it turns out all any of those knights ever talk about is when are we going to get recognized as a real knighthood? When are we going to get our titles, getting our titles in our land? Their High Justicar wants to be an earl, so this is Abaddon's will. He's got a castle and an army. You wonder how long he'll wait before he starts a war over it, saying Abaddon told him to. And their gods will respond that, and also respond that their gods told them that they're the only true nobles. Trouble with having all these gods is you've got to support, no matter how dumb your ideas are. Maybe we had the right idea of blowing some of them up. Less of them to hide behind. Holy shit, Adair! Good on you! Shit! Okay, well, we got permission to go to Heritage Hill, so I'm gonna go there next. But first, I'm gonna keep looking around.
We just don't have the manpower.
Just don't have the manpower for what?
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozen's getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates, and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Hailmar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Is there any way I can help? I know how to handle myself. Always refreshing to meet someone who'd rather fix a problem than complain about it. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights, warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Oh, shit. Fortunately, she hasn't been honest to ascertain the vicious of text. Vienna lives with the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. Go to the Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Yeah. Once you've brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armor if you have need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. You're in charge of Christian Knight? Here in Defiance Bay, anyhow. The High Justice is the leader of our order, but he's currently stationed at Fleetbreaker Castle. My job is to oversee our forces in Defiance Bay and to keep order for the Doke. Tell me about the Knights of the Crucible. We're the only professional army in Defiance Bay, or in the Deerwood for that matter. We defended the city in Hadrich Day. We've improved our training since then, but Dunreed Rowe can certify that many of our officers come from good Deerwood fighting stock. Now we're responsible for patrolling the city and keeping the peace. With so many refugees pouring in from the countryside, it's become more important than ever. Unfortunately, that's earned us enemies, particularly among the dozens and some of the more enterprising families in Defiance Bay. What do the dozens have against you? They're demagogues and troublemakers. They forget that Defiance Bay was one of the largest cities in the world and not some frontier outpost. Most of them are mercenaries on a good day and street thugs the rest of the time. Needless to say, they have no patience for law and order. And these enterprising families, aka Dominoes, House Domino, namely, they're one of the city's oldest noble families and its largest criminal organization. Their patriarch Gedmar has been trying to take advantage of the turmoil to expand his operations. You've kept on top of him, and he hasn't been too happy about that. Well, can I just go to House Domino and kill everyone in there? That seems like the best solution. Anyway, before we go to Heritage Hill, let's stop by Copper Lane first and do that. Because why not? That seems simpler than fighting armies of the undead. It's kind of unfortunate that other people's skills don't really matter in conversations. You know, like, if you have somebody with a high lore skill or something, they can't chime in on a, like, lore check or something, you know? I would appreciate that. Feels like it would be a good thing to put in, you know? But hey, what do I know? I'm just a person trying to record Let's Plays. To the Copper Lane! Aye! And all these 12-minute transitions aren't really helping with the whole trying to build my keep up situation here. Oh, well, if I get tired, I'll just travel to my keep to rest for free. Screw paying for an inn. Go pay for your own damn inn. Root items cannot be used in combat, but can provide bonuses over a long period of time. I don't know. I think there's been a few martial arts movies where some guy eats while he's kicking someone's ass. Probably. Isn't that like a thing? Scrivener's Dormitory. There we go. And catacombs are there. And the Hall of Revealed Mysteries is there. So let's go to the dormitory. I think, yeah, wasn't I in there already? Yeah, and then there was that one dude that was high as a kite. Oh, screw that. He was high as a satellite. If you have difficulty distinguishing between the default green and red colors used for allies and enemies in the game, you can enable colorblind mode in the options menu. Alright, find Viana. Viana! Viana! Viana, is this you?
Good day, stranger.
I'm looking for Viana. I like Viana. She's always talking about metal men, which is strange, since I'm pretty sure she doesn't eat snowcap. I don't talk about metal men either, and I do eat snowcap. Huh. Anyway, she's not here right now. Flew away to Andra's gift to meet her friend, Bessia. No, Clesia. Yes, Clesia. Clesia is a friend she's gonna meet in Andra's gift in a house, not a boat. North house, empty house. Andra's gift has a lot of boats. We should go rowing sometime. Stay away from me. Alright, then I guess we go to Andra's gift. Great. I don't know how I feel about metal men doing fighting. I mean, sure, if you program them right, I guess they won't try to crush a civilian who throws a rock at them. Or overreacts, but if you program them wrong, they'll cleave that civilian in two. Literally. Like just a whoosh. And you just see two halves of body sitting on the floor, and then the robot, and all the civilians are just running like crazy, and then others keep throwing rocks, and they keep getting cut down and crushed, and then you're like, oh, well, we fucked up. And then Animancy gets set back, the Crucible Knights get set back. Basically, horrible situation number one. Should I go to... I'm here.
No, not these days. Parents left the country years back during the purges. I think about him a lot.
It's a shame you and your family suffered, even after the Saints' War ended. You dear Woodens certainly have a knack for holding on to old grudges.
Yeah, shit. You people need to try to stop that, maybe. I don't know, maybe let go of some of these grudges. It might help you in the long run. You're holding on to grudges for too long, and that aren't necessarily your own, can be a very bad thing.
I could while away hours in here, if we had the time, of course. Do we?
No, probably not.
Hail,
Sexa.
traveler.
You're welcome to Brattle Stacks. Mind that you keep your voice down. This is still a temple after all, and Grimda doesn't tolerate disorder. Tell me about yourself. Stars of Broadsword. I'm a scrivener and devotee of Whale. It's my duty to look after our records and resources. Anything else? This is a temple. It looks like a library. That's because it is. Whale is a god of mysteries and answers, encryption and decryption, concealment and revelation. Its guidance comes from the understanding of the unknown and the protection of hidden knowledge. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries was built to celebrate that. I think there's such a place in the Deerwood. Incredible. I'd love a glimpse of the archives. How many secrets must sit upon these shelves? Fascinating. isn't it? Temples dedicated to Whale tend to hold vast stores of knowledge. We use that knowledge to unravel and preserve the mysteries of the world. Who's Grimda? Why, she's the High Archivist. She's one of the most accomplished scholars alive today. Nothing goes on here without her knowing about it. Almost nothing, anyway. You should probably tread lightly around here today. Oh, great. What happened? She still doesn't like animancy? And you're
Welcome.
Grimda. An elderly dwarf surveys the stacks. Her skin looks as tough and wrinkled as a walnut. Despite her stature, she manages to look down her nose at you. You're welcome to look around, but let the priests and scriveners continue their search. Wouldn't do to give them any other excuses. Let me save first. I have a feeling she's gonna be a difficult one. Just a feeling.
How do you do?
What are they looking for? And I could trust you to bring it back, I suppose. You certainly couldn't do worse than this lot, anyway. Thieves made off with an ancient scroll of Whale. They intend to blaspheme by selling that which should remain hidden, a secret of the 100 Visions. The guards caught one of them, but were overzealous in their interrogation. All they could piece together was something about a farmhouse from the road to Deerford. Track the thieves down. I don't care what you do with them, but bring back the scroll. Whale's rewards a persistent seeker, and so do I. Yeah, an animancer. Yeah. Grimda's impressive frown deepens. Thank you for letting me know. I'll be sure to tuck that tome away from prying eyes and see that this... What? I didn't think that means you'd try to keep it from her to shit. Okay, load. Yeah, I figured that was a bad idea. Good thing I saved, shit. Load, load, load. On fire, singing, on fire, singing, Hello, game.
Greetings.
Farewell. And now we need to look for the book. Without her, maybe. That's...
I'll give it a try, at least.
Oh.
Brave Doubt.
Okay, that was also the wrong decision. You know what? Let's find the scroll. Let's find the scroll first. And anyway, that's all the time we have for this episode, actually. So thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you like. And comment, subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter for channel updates, pictures, dogs, and cats, and whatever else I decide to put up there. And well, next time, hopefully, maybe we'll just ask about the scroll and leave. And yeah, make sure to spread this channel. Spread the word far and wide, for the Let's Plays need watching. Anyway, goodbye humans and non-humans alike, and good whatever applies to you.